After leaving the Air Force, he was recruited into the super-secret National Reconnaissance Organization, or NRO, during which time he worked specifically on extraterrestrial connected operations. He had a cosmic top-secret clearance, 38 levels above top secret, which, he states, no U.S. president, to his knowledge, has ever held. UFOs are both extraterrestrial and man-made. The guys that were doing the UFOs, they weren't sleeping. And T. Townsend Brown was one of our guys who was almost up to speed with the Germans. So we had a problem. We had to keep Townsend Brown, what he was doing on the anti-gravity electromagnetic propulsion, secret. Even back in Tesla's time, we had free energy that we could transfer. All you had to do was put up an antenna and place a stake in the ground, and you could light this house and have all the energy you needed. But what do we run on? For the last century, we've run on petroleum. Who's in control of the petroleum in the world? A lot of people think that Iraq, Iran, and Saudi Arabia are in charge. They aren't. We control it. Us and the Brits. Well, some people refer to this as the secret government, a group of the richest men in the world who control petroleum. You don't need cars unless you have an internal combustion engine. Well, if you have one of these zero-point energy units, that's about 16 inches long and about 8 inches high and about 10 inches wide, then you don't need to plug into the local electric company. These devices burn nothing, no pollution. It never wears out because there are no moving parts. What moves are electrons in the gravity field, in the electronic field, and they turn in opposite directions, okay? You put one in a car. The car would rust and fall down around it before it would ever wear out. What's that going to do to the world economy that runs on petroleum? Testimonial. Lieutenant Colonel Charles Brown, U.S. Air Force. After returning from World War II an Air Force hero, Colonel Brown worked in the Air Force Office of Special Investigations. He was assigned to work on Project Grudge, where he was responsible for investigating UFOs. I knew from engineering manuals and from research done at MIT that if we went from totally dry air to totally saturated air, you should improve the efficiency of an engine by about 2%. Well, by humidifying air, through this process we discovered, I was getting 20% to 30% improvement in the efficiency of an internal combustion engine. Engineering people and scientists just wouldn't believe it. So I went ahead, not knowing any better. I started selling these devices, which improved engine performance so remarkably. Well, some strange things started to happen, and government agencies moved in, and particularly the Federal Trade Commission. The EPA was satisfied that it worked, but there was no government support. Finally, the administrator of the EPA had asked the director of their research lab in North Carolina if he would work with me. So I showed up without knowing that he had called him with a diesel vehicle. Very spectacular results in that, so far as I know, it was the first diesel ever tested in a United States EPA laboratory that simultaneously reduced all aspects of measured diesel emissions, plus improved fuel economy up to 23%. As far as I know, no one has ever equaled it. The Federal Trade Commission later performed literally an illegal act. The precise statement made to the attorney for a large dealer in Washington was, "We don't care whether it works or not. We just don't want people buying these large American cars."